you very much. Mr. Murray, I know you said you'd like to wait for the
Folks, I know there's more of an agenda here. I just want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our heart. We really want to do something spectacular here, so we appreciate it, and I'll catch the rest of the notes online. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Welcome to the village.
Thank you.
You know, we have under public hearings, request approval to amend section 415-6 of the village code to add a stop sign on River Avenue. I've been waiting to hear back from Long Island Railroad, and I have not, so I'm going to ask that we adjourn this to the next board meeting, and hopefully by then they'll get back to me with their recommendations.
You already have 4
Oh, okay.
hearings.
Two public hearings, two meetings.
Okay.
July 27th.
July 27th? To July 27th. I would like to have gotten this out of the way, but since I'm dealing with the railroad, Mr.
How
Keyes.
those guys are.
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
Let's continue as they go along.
Jack made a motion on the second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held on Monday, June 22nd in the Municipal Building, 14 Baker Street, Patchogue, New York, by the Village Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Patchogue to add Section 281-3C and amend Section 281-5A1 of Village Code to limit the hours in which engine and motor-powered garden and commercial equipment may be used on weekends and legal holidays, copy of which proposed local law is on file at the office of the village clerk. At said public hearing, any person interested will be given an opportunity to be heard.
I've had a number of calls, not a great number, but that on Saturday mornings, people start to mow their lawn at 7 o'clock. And what's great about it is they call me at 7:15 to come in at the landscaper down a block. They'll walk them up, so they're waking me up to tell me that somebody else woke them up. So what we're looking to do is to kind of modify and Brian would ask you to what we proposed. And, but it really is just more of a courtesy kind of a piece of
This is an example of a law that you would think you would not necessarily need, but as someone reflected before, sometimes people's judgment is not exactly perfect. And in this case, the prohibition would have on a noise standard an additional residential requirement. It says the use of homeowners' light residential outdoor equipment or commercial service equipment shall be prohibited in a residential district on Saturdays before 9 a.m. and on Sundays and legal holidays before 10 a.m. The exception would be the intermittent or occasional use on weekdays for a certain time period on Saturdays between 9 and 10. But the bottom line is that homeowners light residential outdoor equipment or commercial service equipment. So if you have a commercial landscaper, they're prohibited in the residential district on Saturdays before 9 a.m. and on Sundays and legal holidays before 10.
Now, obviously, we're not going to run around giving homeowners violations if you and your neighbor. If you're mowing your lawn, it's between you and your neighbor. We're not going to do much about residents doing it, because your neighbor's probably going to tell you to stop it. But it really is.
So some neighbors are uncooperative, and that's what prompted the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Some neighbors have bad judgment. And also the sunset provision, I know it's going to be a question, is 7 p.m. So after 7 p.m. the prohibition is also in effect.
Now, can you tell me, is it specific to a residence? Is it specific to
So
what area?
any residential zone,
Any?
any residential district.
Because a lot of us live in areas that are boundary commercial, in the mixed zoning areas. I mean, for instance, it has very little to do with this, but I'm woken up very, wee hours in the morning by garbage collectors. They go to the big dumpsters, they drop in the lid, bam, But that's what I'm saying, the mixed areas.
This is really about landscaping equipment.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the mixed areas where somebody might have a business with a landscaper. I'm not sure.
Well, I think it's, if you're in a residential, what are your thoughts, Brian, in terms of
Which residential?
Well, as it applies now, it's all residential.
Yeah, all
We're trying to protect all residences with A, B, C.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
And it's 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock on Saturdays, Sundays 10 o'clock. During the week, 7.
As someone who mows their lawn on Saturday, 9 o'clock,
9:01.
9 o'clock seems kind of late.
It would be late for me. I mean, I do half a day's work before 9 o'clock
Yeah.
on a Saturday, so I get the rest of the day,
Is that a normal, I mean, in other municipalities, is 9 o'clock?
Most of our, as the village code runs, that would be tighter than normal. Generally, the village code provisions run 7 to 7. And amplify noise. You're allowed to have a higher decibel between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., 65 decibels, and 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. it then drops to 50. And what this proposed prohibition, which does also come out of the building department, they get a lot of complaints about this from code, that people are, sometimes some of our property lines are pretty close to people's bedrooms and such, that they're, cutting the lawn or more frequently using the leaf blower out underneath someone's bedroom window at 7 or 6 in the morning.
But this will be more complaint driven than
Yeah, then somebody...
public safety driving down the road. Oh, there's Jack Krieger with his lawnmower at 8:20 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I do cut my lawn not too much later than 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll get up early and do
Myself
it.
as well.
And I see a lot of, professional landscapers out there at an early hour like that. In my neighborhood, I'd see them. I can understand like before 8 o'clock, but
Do you think moving it back to 8 o'clock is a more appropriate time
I don't know, I think it might be a little more appropriate, 8 o'clock,
than 9 o'clock on Sundays? I just didn't.
Yeah, Sunday I can
Yeah,
understand.
Sunday I could understand, yeah.
Sunday's like a different
Absolutely.
thing, but on a Saturday, I don't know, 9 o'clock seems kind of late
Yeah.
for me. I mean, what if I want to do, like, if I'm going to build a deck or something, I can't do that if I'm going to use, a circular saw or something like that. Is that prohibited?
Yep. It's already prohibited. No building decks at 6 in the morning.
Oh, I don't do it that early.
7,
7 o'clock, yeah.
So you could use a circular saw itself, but not a lawnmower.
Correct.
Seems inconsistent.
Just don't use a chainsaw.
I think the frequency of construction in neighborhoods is rarer than cutting lawns, and that's what the issue is.
Yeah.
Didn't Belport just pass something on leaf blowers?
I think we were debating, I don't know if it passed.
I think I'd feel better with 8 o'clock on Saturday. I
Yeah.
think 9 is late.
Yeah.
Comment from the public, anybody? Mr. Bojack? What time do you mow your lawn, Mr. Bojack?
Actually, the hand lawnmower. Property is very small. My question would be, I'm in the E industrial zone, even though I have a house, it's not conforming use, would it be covered by this law?
No.
Mary Kassner, what do you think?
Well, I was wondering, is it just lawnmowers, or is it because landscapers do all these snow removal?
Blowers and...
Because then we open up to snow removal. Is that covered under that same one? Because now on North Ocean, we've got the church across the way from us that likes to have their guy come about 2 in the morning and snowplow when there's about less than a dusting, and you can see the sparks coming out.
Trying to melt it.
But so, that's it. Is it strictly
Yeah, just
mowing, not any other service that your landscaper would provide, such as snow removal?
Yes. The proposal is for homeowners, light residential outdoor equipment, or commercial service equipment. So it'd be heavy.
Which is snow blower, correct?
Well, let me get, that's the proposal. The snow removal is already an exception under the code. And it's been that way since, for a while. But-
So you can remove snow at any time?
Yeah, noise from snow blowers, snow throwers, and snow plows when operated with a muffler for the purposes of snow removal is already an exception.
So you can do that
Yeah.
around the clock?
Yes,
then that's driven by the fact that snow's around the clock.
correct. And school and safety and all those things.
Make it 8 o'clock?
I like 8 o'clock.
I like 8 o'clock.
8 to 10, yeah.
And then holidays and Sundays.
Yeah, keep it, later those days.
So Saturday, 8,
Yep.
and Sunday,
9?
No,
2 p.m.
Sweet
On
break.
Sunday?
No, my wife would just like
I'm not
to
a
have
big
Sundays
Sunday
be
guy,
quiet.
that's just me. I don't think Sunday should stay at 10.
Yeah, I think Sunday should stay at 10 also. Sunday people want to rest in their lives.
Any comments?
I would have said 9 on Sundays.
You would have said 9 on Sundays? We never take this. 10?
I like 9 works for me.
I'm fine.
About 9:30.
I don't think we're allowed to do these things in a half hour.
Yeah, they're very kind out there. You have hard enough time, of course.
I like 9.
9 o'clock on Sunday?
I could go with 9 too, I mean,
Except on West Avenue.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
8 o'clock on Saturdays, 9 o'clock on Sundays?
okay,
As amended.
we'll go with
That's
that.
amended. Motion, Deputy Mayor, second.
Second.
Mr. Felice, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. So where's the last one that easy?
Yeah, that was
Oh, I have again, sorry.
that's the present.
We're gonna hold on item 7?
After dinner. 7's holding?
Yeah, we're gonna hold.
Nothing but my column.
Yeah, B&D report. Mr. Smith.
I have 8 presidents of numbers. Mr. Mayor, trustees, Mrs. Seal, Attorney Egan, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Smith with the BID report for this evening. Originally, we were going to have the annual report this evening, but due to the public hearings that we had, we decided to put that off until the 1st July meeting, which I think is the 13th. So I'm going to have a very, very brief report. I'm going to start briefly with the Parks Improvement Project. The Scantrons are being tabulated as we speak. We got a total of 390 back, which isn't bad. 250 were the hard copies on paper, 140 were electronically done online. That started out very slowly too. I mentioned that at the last meeting, and it was good to see that it picked up. Thanks to John Bojack and Joe Miller, Crystal DiNicola, they got the word out on the electronic Scantrons, and they started coming in after that.
How many did we send out a total?
We sent out about 3,600? 3,800, yeah. Village residents?
Mary, on normal responses, is that like a 3 or 4?
Oh, you get 2% is, it would be a good response from the catalog now, so.
Actually, the 3% we got on that isn't a bad number.
Yeah, if you're actually higher than usual.
Almost 10% of what we mailed is probably 4,000 if you take. Yeah.
I think the push at the end really helped though, because, a lot of them came in that last week, which was appreciated. Briefly, the Sunday market, we kicked it off on June the 14th. We didn't advertise, so it started out slowly. We had 7 vendors there that day. We hope to add on to that as we go forward. It was canceled yesterday due to the inclement weather early in the morning. I mean, by 10 o'clock, we could have had everybody out there because it was beautiful. But it will be back again this Sunday, and hopefully we'll have it every Sunday throughout the rest of the summer into the fall. We now have signage that's going to promote the market. We're going to put it on either end, on Ocean Avenue, as well as up by Havens. And this week in the advance, there's a full-page back cover advertisement promoting the farmers market. So we should be off and running with this week. As we get more vendors, as the farmers bring in more product, it'll grow, and good things to come going forward. I'm very confident about that. The last thing I have is just the relocation of some of the hanging basket brackets on North Ocean Avenue. We're going to move them down more into the business district. We're missing, there's only like every 3rd pole, so we're missing a lot down there. That's kind of scarce down there. The businesses there have let me know that. So we will make that move and hopefully be a little more equitable in the distribution within the business district of the baskets. And hopefully that should happen this week. The baskets are actually starting to look good. They're coming around, they've got nice color in them. Bill still can't pick out the 3 that are artificial, so I guess that's good. I'm pleased with them this year. We're off to a good start.
There's 4, I put 1 up too.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. I missed that one. Unless there's any questions for me, that's all I have. Thank you.
You know, explain to membership about tonight's meeting, having been a little bit, you would be just starting it now, we'd be here for a while,
Yeah,
so.
just a little bit late. So,
Dennis, thank you very much.
looking forward to the next meeting. Thank you.
Dennis.
Kennedy.
Good evening again. First, thank you very much for taking the Chamber's opinion on this matter seriously. But most importantly, I really want to just say thanks to the community. If every public hearing was like the last 2 we've had with the plastic bags, and now with this hearing, this community is obviously kind of risen above the level. I think we all remember days when contentious issues came before the village. It wasn't always as friendly as it has been. So it's great to see it, where Patchogue is going. Joe, I do want to say, Jonathan is someone I have a tremendous amount of respect for. What he's done with Wine Dance Rising alone is something that I don't think many people know, that a Patchogue-bred person has been so well behind it. And I'm very interested to see that letter as well. Just let him know, please reach out to me, because his opinion is one I respect, and I hope Mr. Egan and Mr. Keyes do get together. And if there is a way to find that middle ground we're all talking about, that would be the best thing.
I have faith in Mr. Egan.
I do too. I can commend Mr. Egan, because he wrote that law for all the best of intentions. And he had the utmost confidence that if it was challenged, that it would have held up if it ever got that far. And I do appreciate where Mr. Egan was coming for that law, because it did make a lot of sense at the time.
And his job does depend upon it.
Absolutely. So just getting back to some other chamber activities, I did want to highlight, we had this great networking event at Patchogue Medford High School last week, promoting the robotics program that they have at Patchogue Medford High School. I think people are familiar with the program, but I don't think people are as familiar with how exceptional Patchogue Medford is with this program. They're one of the best in the nation when it comes to the robotics program. But unfortunately right now, that funding is a bit jeopardized, because Motorola was one of their main benefactors, and they've lost that sponsorship for this year. So there is some concern about the future of that program without that lack of support. So certainly we in the Chamber are going to be promoting as much as we can to help solicit some more support to keep that program running. But I do encourage anybody in the community, whether it's $5 donations or $500 donations, the robotics program is something our school district has that is really separates us from others, that we should definitely keep going. And we'll be doing more on that as time progresses. Tomorrow is our next general membership meeting. This month we're meeting at Ultimate Fitness for a lunch meeting at 1 o'clock. And I do encourage anybody who would want to come down and see what happens at a chamber meeting. You're more than welcome to come down, and certainly any of our elected officials are always welcome. And of course, then we're now into the heart and the heat of the summer season. A lot of great activities coming up. Of course, the 4th of July parade is around the corner, and I'll let Trustee Ferb, who is a member of the Lions, give us more details about that. But as everybody knows, it's actually on the 4th of July. And then the following weekend, though, is one weekend we're really excited about. There's so much activity going on, starting with July the 9th. It's the first Alive After 5 of the season. The next night, we have Family Fun Night on Friday, July the 10th. And then I believe it's the Sunday, that's the garden tour. Is it Saturday or Sunday, the garden tour? Saturday, July the 11th is the garden tour. And as well, that whole weekend is our sidewalk sales. So really, if you want to get a real taste of Patchogue and all the things that are happening that are great, that weekend is a weekend that everybody should be circling on their calendar with a lot of great activities. And then the last thing I just wanted to discuss is that we're getting closer to really unveiling a concept that we're going to call Retail Happy Hour on Friday nights in Patchogue. We are working with the restaurant community and in Blue Point as well about having some kind of synergy to those who shop in town to get some kind of benefit at some of our eateries as well in town, and just to encourage some more shopping for our retail stores and share in some of the success that our restaurants are having, that it can be shared with some of our retail establishments as well. So probably in about a week or so we'll be announcing a launch date and the activities that are surrounding with that. So, a couple of things. One, Larry Fiala from the Colony Shop, her Jaguar is stalled in the parking lot. So she just wanted me to ask if you see her her car couldn't start on the way out. So she's taking care of it as we speak. So if you do see the Jaguar there.
Which parking lot?
It's in the Oak Street parking lot. It's in a handicap spot right up there. And second up, Bob Wallen from Wallen's Organic Store, he was going to come to a later meeting, but he asked me to bring up that he's very thankful for the extra parking spaces that have been created on Terry Street with the repaving, but he does have a concern that he says he sees cars kind of making that left turn in a very unsafe manner, and they do travel fast around there.
Some U-turns over there for some reason.
Right, so he was suggesting...
What's that?
All the time.
Where?
Terry
Terry is out. Yeah.
You want to go back?
The left when you're coming south.
sorry, what was the suggestion?
He could maybe stop sign would maybe be considered to slow people down. He's concerned now with the cars coming a little bit closer to the corner that, it could be an accident waiting to happen by the disregard some people do of making that left.
Let's get people making lefts, so pushing onto Terry, right?
That's what he's saying, yeah. So, he's three things he's walking out the door.
Somebody hit a fire hydrant there.
Yep.
Not long ago.
Yep, coming around the corner too fast, you hit the fire hydrant on Third Street.
Right, so that was his concern.
Put a couple of...
So, I don't know if you want to reach out to him, take a look, and see if it doesn't warrant a stop sign or not. All right, again, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Palmieri. I must say, South Ocean Avenue looks terrific. Good job, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Really nice, the new stripes and the new...
And that Terry Street lives here.
Yeah, it looks great.
About 16,000 tons of blacktop on one day.
I went by in the morning, and it was all milled, and went by in the afternoon, it was all done.
Yeah, and David, I don't know if you got any complaints, but I think it was done really with very little...
Zero complaints. You did it quick, fast, and...
The timing of it was right, they did that.
I couldn't believe it. I don't always go that way. And I was like, oh my God, it's done.
Even my 7-year-old son commented that they got it done quick.
Well, that's it, then we passed it.
The political walk that he is.
Yes, that he is.
Very observant.
I'd just like to request approval to hire Hannah Hour as a part-time seasonal clerk at $10 per hour.
1070.
No, it was a misprint.
It's 10, right, Pat?
Yes, it is.
So Hannah Hour at $10 an hour.
What,
Second.
now she got 74 cents there. Motion second?
Got it.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Keyes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just do my approvals. I won't bore you with any of my reports tonight. I'm requesting approval for Rosemark Construction.
Joe, I do have one more thing. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Parking meters.
Yes.
Wow, this is a big one. I don't know how I forgot it. To everyone who wants to know if the parking meters are successful, this is fiscal year, right?
Yep.
Fiscal year to date.
Our fiscal year.
Our village fiscal year. The parking meters, this is just the meter money alone from December, how does it
No, June 1.
from June 2014 to May 2015, we collected about a little over $250,000 in meter money. Okay.
And that's only half the year we have.
That's right, only half of that year was the parking lots.
Right.
So it rings true to the success of the program. We have purchased a piece on Church Street, which Joe Keyes and I and Joe Dean are going to be going out there Wednesday morning to talk about the demolition of the bank building to put in some more parking spaces. I guess I can say that we are looking at other properties, Attorney Egan? Actively pursuing other properties, so Mark, that goes to what you said today. And, I think everybody's got to realize that those properties aren't going to be next door to anybody's stores because there's no more, they're all parking there. So, but we're doing the best that we believe can be done to get properties, and this is where this money's coming from. So, how many people here are village residents? There you go. You're not being taxed.
Well, let's get a conclusion. That $242,000 covered all the startup expenses that we had, whether it was market spaces, installing the meters, all of those startup costs were all covered here. Not a dime of it came out of the resident taxpayer. All the expenses covered the expenses of Scotty, the
Code,
public safety.
public safety.
So, you know, the metering, everything, it's amazing how much was covered out of that. So, it, as we go to the next year, we'll be able to begin to build reserves to do the upkeep to the lots and do those other things and purchase more properties. So, it really is generating the amount of funds that we need to get to where we want to get to.
I mean, we still go have some glitches and things with
Have lighting we need.
lighting we have to do, and a few more other things that's just. But we have adjusted as we've gone along, and thanks to Joe and the highway department and Sal's guys and code enforcement and everything. They've been very helpful in getting the whole thing done. So I think that I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's been pretty successful. So I'm sorry, Joe.
No, it's all right. Actually, Jack, hats off to you because I know you took a lot of beatings in the beginning. I know what you went through when the meter program started. You worked hard and
Just one quick comment, Jack and Joe. If you can save the trees,
Save the
back.
trees,
If you
yeah.
can save the trees, please do.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, but there are 3 absolute specimen trees there. They're absolutely fantastic. They're probably too old to move.
Yeah, that was just say, I looked at the bulb,
Yeah, no, you can't
enormous.
move them.
Yeah.
That'd be
The
impossible.
expense of getting it out is gonna be huge. It's gonna probably more than what the building cost.
Sorry.
See, the bottom line comes out here. Your patty, bottle of wine, which you put up with this year.
Yeah, that's right. We should be thanking
I'm sorry, Daddy.
It's all good.
I
Progress.
want to know how much department fine.
We don't have that number right now.
That number gets put in with all of the other court monies.
Why, did you get one, friend?
No, no.
Yeah, this money goes directly into a fund for parking.
Okay.
The violation money goes into the general fund. But that money can be used for general stuff in the village, so.
When I was teaching, I used to separate kids like you.
I certainly wouldn't let them sit in the back of the class.
They would go right to the front and
I usually did it up front.
That's right.
Now we know why.
Yeah, Mark, and I sat back there and look what happened to me.
Thank you, sorry, Joe.
No problem. Actually, you mentioned some of the glitches with lighting, and I think I mentioned last time that I did meet with a solar company, and I'm meeting with 2 more next week. It's supposed to be tied up, postponed, because they have these freestanding single poles and panels on them that would be ideal for, trouble with meters and stuff, maybe in the parking lots. So that'd be good. Okay, I'm requesting approval for Rosemont Construction to mill and pave various streets. You have the list at a cost not to exceed $790,000. I think there's about 15 roads on that list, which, once they're completed, will bring us probably up to 25 roads in the village that we paved this year. So, Mr. Mayor, this storefront to shopfront campaign and that 1.2 mil that we managed to secure has been well spent, and a lot of blacktop on
Does that include Salzburg?
It's gonna make a lot of people happy.
We only do it in the north end of South.
That's all right.
Your money down the other end.
I mean, it's going to reduce the number of people who can tell me they live on the very worst street in the village. It's told by every single resident lives on the
That's
worst.
gonna be the Mayor Street, I think, after this list.
That's a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you. Requesting approval to pay Flint Trading an additional $1,386.74 for thermoplast numbers to be installed in municipal lots and on Main Street. We've had parkland painting, you may have noticed this year, but now as they fade out, we're going to thermoplast the numbers.
Yeah, they're already fading so fast.
Yeah, they went really quick, so we didn't catch in time for this year, a little glitch in ordering the numbers, but we will replace those as needed with thermoplast stuff. That's a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Now, Joe, I have a question about that. How do they hold up with snow plows and such?
They're used all over, the stop bars and everything, it's,
Is it the same material as the new crosswalks?
no, it's like, we have some
No,
stop bars, if you look at something, pour them the arrows that's there and the stop bars and stuff, it's,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
and you heat that down. So, yeah, I mean, the first winter will be interesting, but yeah, they're supposed to be more durable than what, paint can last, that's all I have to say.
Joe, just in terms of, the crosswalk,
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to start today, it's starting tomorrow. I checked with Jason today, because today was the original start date. It's going to start tomorrow down to Main Lane. New crosswalks, which will gift wrap the village. I love that term. They should think about the railroad. You know the two crosswalks by the railroad, Cedar Avenue?
What's that?
They want to know this. The railroad lot, Cedar Avenue, crossing from the railroad station, Cedar, I think we should consider those as well. And they're kind of in the heart of the community. I don't know.
The thing about it is that we have to bring in for another pave job. They'd have to come and repave that.
Yeah, no, that's a problem. Maybe next week.
Let's take a look and see what happens.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have.
Mr. Felice.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a building and housing report. Building and housing summonses issued for the period May 1st to May 31st were 13. Building permits issued, 25. Superstorm Sandy permits issued was 1. Plumbing permits issued, 10. Demolition permits, 3. Rental permits, 26. Notices of violation, 32. Number of complaints received, 26. And then fees collected, ARB applications was $500. Building permits were $10,944. Zoning certificates were $200. Fire inspections, $350. Sidewalk seating permits, $3,000. Planning board applications, $600. Plumbing permits, $420. Rental permits, $3,300. And zoning applications, $800, with a total of $20,114 for the month of May. Next, I need to request approval for Peter Sarich to attend the rescheduled OSHA training course from July 28th to August 1st. And that's in Manchester, New Hampshire, and that's at a cost not to exceed $1,000, and that has been budgeted for already, so.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next, I have to request approval to increase the salaries for the certified housing inspectors. That's also been budgeted for, and that's as per the attached list. I think it's 6 or 7 guys who receive certification.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I would like to request the approval to promote Sergeant Scott Love to the rank of lieutenant effective July 1st with no additional salary increase. That's just something Jim Berberich, suggested we do, and he said Scott is really the guy for the job. So.
I'll tell you, since he's been on duty, marking meters, he's been great.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, he took real interest in it.
He's a great customer service guy. He does his job. He's just got a good attitude.
Yeah, he's out there. It's really good. And with no extra salary, so it's just a prestige thing for him.
Fixes the machine.
And he deserves it.
Yeah.
Fixes the machine.
Yeah, I know.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, I'd like to request approval to promote Officer Emilio Fusco to Senior Code Enforcement Officer with an increase of $1.08 per hour, and that's effective July 1st.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then I have 2 things that were not on the agenda. One being to set a public hearing for July 13th, 2015 to declare the premises located at 82-84 River Avenue as an unsafe and hazardous building under the Chapter 162.
Second.
All in favor?
Where is that? South.
That's the house of court fire.
That's
the house
That's the
fire,
house
yeah.
on that corner there. It's on Slaughter, yeah. That's
Is it both? The attached house too?
I believe it's, the 2 houses are attached. That's what I have here, 82-84. Yeah. And one other thing, request approval for Joe Keyes' family to play amplified music at Fireman's Park on Saturday, July 25th from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Closed.
I was just going to say.
No plastic bags.
No alcohol? No alcohol?
Did anybody get your invitation yet? Come on, family. That's what, not on your side, not on your...
Come on down. Come on down.
Is that going to be a band or just music?
DJ music. It won't be anything.
Because we have a Milagro that night, which is pretty good band.
You know what you could do? You could get rid of the DJ. You run a speaker from Milagro over to your place.
Well, we originally had this party scheduled for the weekend of the Great South End Music Festival. I didn't think that was gonna work out too well. Well, the live will come till 7 o'clock? Yeah, I said 10, but I think we'll be, I think it's gonna be a lot of little kids, everybody.
I guess we have to approve.
Just need a second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trustee Ferb.
Mr. Mayor, fellow trustees. First of all, I'm going to request approval for the Patchogue Lions Club to have July 11th as a rain date for the Independence Day Parade. As you recall, it rained on July 4th last year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Request approval to join the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance to provide workers' compensation insurance to the village and to authorize the mayor to execute the plan's charter document. Those of you who follow the details of our budget and our costs have watched our workman's comp increase very dramatically over, I think it's $100,000 more this year than it was last year. So our diligent village personnel went out and found an insurer who's going to charge us less money. And that's what this is about.
And I think what they're also, is they have training.
They have training, yeah. Our prior, we were trying to, you get credits for training your personnel in safety methodologies and so on. And we were not getting those training sessions from our prior insurer, and we were going to get them from the new one. So that's a motion to authorize them.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Second, resolve that the village elects pursuant to subdivision 3A of section 50 of the workers' compensation law to become a self-insurer as to workers' compensation claims against the village. That's a motion.
Second. All in favor?
That's all I have.
Trustee Hilton.
As it's late in the evening, I only have one approval, which is not in your packet, seeking approval to pay Dave Rogers $300 for his crosswalk design.
It's actually, it's in the bills, it's already done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we talked about it earlier.
Second.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you explain to the public what we're doing?
Well, we had a contest, some of you who were here probably recall, for a design for the crosswalk that goes from the library across to the theater. And Paul's got these special lights, so when you step in, the lights are going to go, so people will finally know to stop. But we did have artist submissions through the Patchogue Arts Council, and they settled on Dave Rogers, who was here earlier. He spoke on the record.
Right, he was one.
He was the first person to speak on the franchise public hearing, so I'm sorry he's not here right now. But he came up with a beautiful design. It starts with paintbrushes and pens, and then in the center it's got a shopping bag, the tragedy and comedy face, and what was the third image? Oh, a movie camera.
Yeah.
And then as it continues on, it becomes
No, it's
piano
both- it looks
keys.
like-
A book like the library. Right. And then it becomes piano keys. So a lot of imagery, very bold and graphic, that speaks to what the village is. And we're meeting tomorrow with the people from the Crosswalk Company to see if we can use the colors, if it has to be done in black and white, but he's given us several different versions. So I think we'll settle on that tomorrow, and he's getting a stipend of $300 for his design.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is pretty
When you see it, just the connection of one side of the downtown, what the downtown is about.
When we decide which design, you want me to send you an email, Linda, with the final?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then you
sounds
could
neat. Yeah,
do.
because I had written about it, for months.
Yeah,
It's really pretty neat.
Well, all the designs that were submitted were really neat, you know,
Yeah,
but that one
we had
really
some of
played
those.
into what our downtown.
Yeah, I think that was really what we were looking for,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. So that's it for tonight. That's all I have, since it's late.
Mr. Hilton, looks like you're gonna spend some money here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to compliment and thank Dennis Smith for once again taking on a task that's not part of his job description, I'm sure, in the Parks questionnaire. Did a fabulous job with that, and a crash course in printing and postage and internet and links.
Thank you.
And especially at the end. I think we went from maybe 100 responses.
2 weeks ago, we had, I think it was 31, 135, maybe 150, 160.
Yeah.
To the 390, so it really...
That was fabulous.
Up at the end. it was publicized and we got the word out there, and it's a good response.
No, I think it's a great return in marketing. That's a high mark.
Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, and Linda as well. We appreciate the advance. The pool looks great. The Parks Department, and thanks to, once again, to DPW for helping us put everything together. The blessing of the pool is this Friday at, what time is it?
It's only noon time.
Noon.
Yeah. So if anybody is around, it's a lot of fun to be down there, and please try to be there. And Mr. Mayor, I'd like to request approval to hire additional summer staff to sign as attached. It's a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take care.
Request approval to increase the salary of Diane Poulis by $1. Diane is the tennis director.
Motion.
Second. To bring her up to $2 I'd like to request approval for Patchogue Bedford Youth and Community Services.
Who did? Yeah, you made the motion. Tom seconded it. Everybody said yeah.
Okay, to use the pool on various dates for their summer enrichment program?
As listed?
Yes.
Second. Second. All in favor?
All right. Request approval for Senator Croce to hold a Child Safety Day at Shoreham Park on Sunday, August 16th, from 10 to 2. It's still in the developmental stage.
Motion second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, that's all I have. Thank you.
Any other comments by the board? You've spoken enough tonight. You're done.
That's 11, I'm sorry, 11 o'clock for the Pleasant.
11?
Yeah.
It's Friday?
Who's doing the blessing here?
I'm not sure.
Influence.
All right, I get ready.
What happened to this?
Public to be heard. Hello, Ms. Kassner.
What time you talking? Is by any chance Cedar Grove between
Yes.
North Ocean, that's on it? Because
Yes.
that's like,
It's a dirt road.
it's horrible.
What's wrong with that?
It's not bad because I have a four-wheel drive off-road vehicle, but everybody else
It's
is...
just traffic calming device.
It's a speed hump.
But only Cedar Grove is on it because that's bad.
Absolutely, yes
Thank
it
you.
is.
That is the worst street in Patchogue. Sorry, Don.
And yes, Tom Wiggins is on it, that's why you're here. Thank you. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Aye.